I would like to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. The House believes that the state should prioritize disaster mitigation over relocation. Our world is diverse in its natural disaster spectrum, from volcanic eruptions, earthquake due to the tectonic plate movement, in addition tsunami that will appear as the outcome of the tectonic plate movement itself. We, as the proposition, support various methods of disaster mitigation than for it to resort on relocation. Let this argument has a diverse assertion from the proposition. If we are to resort on relocating the people that are impacted by the disaster, is it the most efficient way to overcome it? Must we conform to the idea to abandon our home, our very own homeland, just because it is at risk of a disaster range? Let me make this clear. The idea to relocate is short-sighted and close-minded thinking to set it upon a practical global-wide initiative. Even if the outcome is to prioritize the people, if the relocation itself can mitigate and prevent future possibilities to not occur once more, this is alarming indication that needs to be stated. My argument has two layers. Firstly, prioritize on mitigating. With this key initiative, our government could focus on various methods for preventing disaster to ever occur. In example, the nation of Japan. Their province had governors over the year that has passed, has constructed water dam and seawalls over in the line of the Pacific Ocean because they have the highest recorded data of seismic activity that caused tsunami to form and will impact coastline cities that are dense. Secondly, investment of technology and infrastructure. With our second key initiative, this would allow us to construct more seawalls and dams that could prevent tsunami and floods. In practice, investment towards the infrastructure are the maintenance and repairment of the infrastructure itself. By example, the nation of Japan, they own a high-grade natural disaster technology that could inform and alarm its civilians if there are any tsunami and earthquake to ever occur on its land. Let's go inside of our nation itself, Indonesia. BKT, their usage is to prevent intense flooding of Jakarta, which allow the city to save enough time to withstand any flood that may occur. In a logical theory, preventing a disaster before it ever to be realized is far more efficient and farsighted. It allows the government to earn credibility to prevent such a scenario. It will also manage to minimize civilians' housing and the city's destruction itself. Nonetheless, the severity of the outcome that will brought such diseases after the flooding. Further adding the agricultural landscape that could be impacted that will cause a food or grain shortage. These are just in place of a national scale. The severity, if it's put in a worldwide scale, will be catastrophic. The opposition is fighting the ground to relocate and to hide the things that they are failed to prevent. We, as the proposition, will stand to minimize and prevent of a disaster to be affected towards our daily life. Even if my opposition stands firm that they will must address this flaw. Take example, the disaster that has brought upon the province of Aceh. Firstly, poor management and handling of the aid logistics. Aceh was impacted by a landslide because the soil failed to absorb water, which leads to a drought. The nation itself of Indonesia has contributed plenty of aid for the province of Aceh, but most of the aid and donation failed to reach Aceh due to the fact that poor management of the handlings and logistics, which led to a widespread discontent among survivors. The government way on supporting the survivors is to relocate them to a refugee camps. This action does benefit them, but the issue is still severe. This is not for a long time standing solution, but a temporary band-aid to a severe wound. This is why under our reasoning, even if it may be a financial burden to a nation to construct those infrastructure that will prevent natural disaster to ever occur, it's still a viable and efficient method to secure the enrichment of the people. Plenty of life and infrastructure will be standing firm due to early investment by the government. It's a farsighted and logical handling of an issue that may occur in the far future. With under this reading, we stand firmly on our argument to prioritize disaster mitigations rather than to resort on relocation of the people themselves to our refugee camps. I rest my time.